Unlike the majority of her peers who had access to education, Salam was forced to stay at home because her mother could not spare expenses to provide her with exercise books and writing materials. Yet, she wanted to attend school very much, and her inability to do so saddened her deeply. Then, Meseret Humanitarian Organization's, MHO's One Pack for One Child project found her. Her days of unhappiness are over now. The project supplies her with 10 notebooks, 2 pens, pencils, and eraser. She's also given a set of school uniforms for each academic year.
The project provides my child with educational supplies and uniform. Moreover, the project supports of the renovation of our old house and makes it comfortable for my family.
One Pack for One Child is the driving motto behind the provision of thousands of uniforms and educational materials for needy children in Addis Ababa, Oromia, Amhara, Tigray, and SNNPR.
When we went to Konso, from a total of 8 schools we have visited, the 9th one is a preschool. And we found that the children were learning sitting on the floor. Since the mothers were engaged in working activities, the young children were going to school along with carrying a small baby. A child has either not to go to school or going with the responsibility of carrying his or her younger siblings.
MHO coordinated support for the school, and the children were provided with new classrooms, exercise books, pens, and pencils. The support of MHO inspired and motivated the local community, says Meseret.
After 3 months, we were invited to attend a graduation event and found that they built a toilet and stored water in a roto container by pumping water through a generator. And they also bought a television. The government assigned teachers and the children are receiving effective quality education. All these are a promising practice.
One of the remarkable achievements of MHO is the collection of used pens, pencils, and erasers from preparatory school students as they came out from final examination. Tens of thousands of these items were gathered by volunteers at the gates of preparatory schools throughout Addis Ababa and distributed to needy children in the capital city and other target areas. And once again, educational materials were delivered to the school in Konso this academic year. MHO's actions, devoid of self-interest, never fail to inspire others. For instance, in Maicho town, the Kebele administration offered MHO an office free of any rental fee and pledged to support its good work. And this is what the Women and Children's Affairs Bureau in Wadla has to say.
ተማሪዎች አሁን ትምህርት የሚጀመርበት ሰዓት ነው። የጽህፈት መሳሪያ በግላቸው ሳይገዙ ደርሶላቸዋል እና ችግራቸውን የበለጠ እንዲቀርፍላቸው ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ አድርጎልናል። ስለዚህ ተማሪዎቹም እያሉ አሁን ያሉት በቃ ድርጅቱ ልክ እንደናት አባት ሆነው ያዩት። ምክንያቱም ቀጥታ አሁን ደብተር እስክሪብቶ እያሉ ወደኛ ሴክተር እየመጡ እኛ በፊት ግን ከትምህርት ቤት አምጥተን ላኩልን መረጃ ብለን ነበር። አሁን ግን ልክ እንደሚመጣላቸው ተስፋ አሳድሮላቸዋል።
MHO was founded in 2012 by the current director, Meseret, who mostly relies on support by charitable individuals and organizations.
Meseret Humanitarian Organization, MHO, is a non-profitable, non-governmental organization, which is working to reduce vulnerability among children and women in Ethiopia. The organization was established in July 3, 2011. The main priority areas of the organization are supporting children and women. The vision of the organization is to see all Ethiopian women and children inspired to prosperity. MHO is supported technically and financially by volunteers, individuals, private sectors, and potential donors. The mission of the organization is to support all Ethiopian orphans and vulnerable children and women under poverty to obtain their own social, economical, and personal development.
MHO's outreach service Follow-up on project enrolled children and their families is the responsibility of volunteers who, Meseret says, are numerous. This boy and his friends are volunteers for MHO. During the Ethiopian New Year, the friends went around singing the season's traditional songs and collected money.
We sung the Ethiopian New Year cultural music, Ababayosh, to collect money. The money we gather from this ceremony will serve to support and cover expenses related to educational supplies for vulnerable children.
One of the underlying purposes of One Pack for One Child is to instill within communities, especially the young generation, a culture of sharing and supporting one another. Another innovation of MHO is the facilitating of recreational time for vulnerable children every Saturday. Children are told edifying stories and encouraged to interact with their peers. Later, they're invited to lunch. This is intended to shape good behavior, create bonds between the children, and provide them with a good time. MHO, by mobilizing local resources, was able to support more than 20,000 children thus far, and in the current year, it's working to assist 15,000 vulnerable children and their caregivers.
After I got the training lesson, I started selling charcoal as a means of getting income and being engaged in small business activities. In the rainy season, I have started selling vegetables, and the surrounding community have become potential customers of my business.
MHO is not limited to providing school material to needy children. In fact, the gate of its head office is never closed, a heartening sight to those who come seeking assistance.
The project facilitated a cost-free college education opportunity, and I have completed my diploma program. In addition to the support I received, the project also provided an educational material assistance to my two brothers who are attending in 11th and 12th grade at Alamata.
Potable water development is one of the major projects of MHO that targets vulnerable children and their guardians. This is a potable water development program constructed with support from partners and benefits more than 5,000 poor households in Gulele sub-city. Education for a child is a human and legal right. Yet millions of children are denied access to education. Meseret Humanitarian Organization is making every effort to reduce this deplorable situation by mobilizing local resources and spreading the culture of self-support among communities. It is also actively working to empower vulnerable women through support to start income-generating activities. Moreover, the organization is involved in water supply and similar schemes to alleviate problems of the economically marginalized sections of the community.